Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. We got a lot to talk about today in regards to Liverpool's recent form, results over the past week, and then looking ahead to see if Liverpool are going to do a complete rebuild of the midfield, even the back line potentially. We're going to talk about it all today. Steve, how you doing this morning?
Good, good. Um, we'll dive into the match for sure, but I'm doing good. It's good to be back. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, man. How was Dubai?
It was great. Great weather. It's a pretty cool city to visit. I definitely recommend it. Um, Not fun coming back from vacation though to the snow.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. What's the time difference? Was it 9 hours?
9 hours ahead
Yikes. How was
of
that?
Eastern time.
Was that
It took
adjusting?
like a day and a half to adjust because we left at 10 p.m. our time and
Yeah.
landed there at 8 p.m. because it's a
Damn.
12-hour flight. So like we lost a full day traveling. But on the way back, we landed at around the same time that we left. So you get it back
That's
coming
kind of
home.
cool.
Yeah.
Alexi thinks we're handsome, and I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so good morning to everyone. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the chat throughout the show. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure to like the stream as well. Steve, midweek, the Madrid match. I don't want to talk about it any more than you do, but what the. We started out so well, dude. It was 2-0, playing so well, really playing so well. I thought that we were going to embarrass Madrid um, based on the opening 15 minutes. And then the team lets in 5 unanswered goals. I mean, what the hell happened?
Um, we can't beat Madrid.
It
I
seems
think
like
that's what it comes down to.
we can't.
They were just toying with us in
Definitely
that
at the end
second
of the
half.
match.
Yeah, I mean, Modric is just unreal. That guy gets better with age.
Dude, Vinicius is the
Vinicius
problem.
Jr., he can't be
Good God.
stopped.
He can't be.
Certainly not by Trent.
No, he made
Um,
Trent look so bad, bro.
Benzema's just so clinical. I was talking about this the other day with you guys. Like Valverde is just a beast in the midfield. They're kind of our kryptonite. I mean,
5
Champions League
unanswered goals,
final
bro.
twice. They beat us in the Champions League a couple years ago, bounced us out. 5 goals at home.
Some
It's
sort of record.
we don't match up well against them. I don't get it. And also like Carlo Ancelotti gives us trouble, even when he was at Napoli. If you remember those years we battled them in the Champions League, they always gave us a hard time.
Yeah.
He's a good manager.
Good manager, good team. I think he's the best team in the world at the moment. And I mean, I think what bothers me is Oyvind said it in the chat here, and I actually agree. I don't think we played that bad, dude. We didn't play that bad until like the last. I don't know. I'd say the second half was really bad. Um, but the first half, I don't think we played that bad, despite going into the break tied 2-2. I honestly think that we played well opening up. We had our press going. We got 2 early goals. We capitalized on mistakes, but then after the first goal, which is a great goal, by the way, from Vinicius. I mean, you're not going to stop that. Allison's mistake, which some people were blaming Gomez for, which I don't understand at all. Allison's mistake, I think everyone just kind of collapsed. And that game was just so depressing, man. That's all I can say about it. It's just so. And we still have one more leg left. Why do I feel like it's over? We could very easily go there and, win, but I don't know. I just don't see it
Yeah.
happening. Not
I
at the
don't see us winning
Bernabeu.
by 3 goals.
And that's just to send it to overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Well, back to what you said. Allison was completely at fault for that. Gomez
100%.
was dreadful in that match, no doubt. But that was all Allison. They People were saying I know what you mean. Like people are saying we didn't play that bad. To an extent, I do agree with that. A lot of the goals you can point out like one mistake that led to it. The goals we conceded. Obviously Allison's blunder. The corner at the beginning of the second half
Oh,
for
that's just
Militao,
terrible.
like
That's just
Gomez
terrible.
just a statue, didn't move a muscle.
No, but we normally man mark, and for some reason, we did, like, a zone marking there. Nobody moved. Nobody marked anybody.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but you can't get a free header like that.
No.
Like Gomez didn't move. Watch the replay, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's bent over, doesn't move, stands there. It's almost like he wasn't ready or he just like had a mental lapse. And then like the Benzema goal, the the one where he kind of just like put it in the top left corner.
Yeah, the breakaway
That's when you're
goal.
trying to climb back into a game, counterattack, like whatever. So I don't think 5-2 necessarily was like a fair reflection of how we played, but nonetheless, you lose 5-2 at home. It's dreadful. Now, that being said, we've taken 7 out of the last 9 available points in the league, which is something to build on. Yesterday sucked. There's no doubt about it.
I
It was a
I love
boring game.
I love where you're going with this. Absolutely, keep going.
Yeah, like yesterday sucked. Crystal Palace away, it's always going to be a tough match. We don't score. We're used to that, like just in general over the last couple of months. Um,
Not at all satisfied.
I mean, Trent's free kick, that that block from Henderson, that's kind of a freak thing. Salah hit the post. They did have probably the best chance of the game with Mateta, but we got a point.
What I
It,
want to think about here is we were 10th in the table 3 matches ago. Now we're 7th with a game in hand on every team in the top 4. Is that not something positive? I think that's pretty positive. I think honestly, that shows that we're kind of building on something. Now, granted, a draw against Crystal Palace, a goalless draw in that, not exactly the best thing, but hey, we haven't lost in 3 matches, bro.
I mean, we've seen draws like that for years. That's
No,
been my biggest complaint for years is those weird draws. But we just want
what's better?
everybody's just like fiending for wins because it's so important at this stage of the season. This season's been so bad. A a point away at Palace, like I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I am going to lose sleep over the fact that we look dead. It
Yeah.
just didn't look right. You know what it looks like to me? It looks like all the players are playing together for the first time. That's what it looks like. There's class there. There's talent. There's quality. There's just no chemistry. We're
Well,
not
think
playing as a
about
unit.
the lineup mix that Klopp had to do yesterday, right? Matip was thrown back into the starting 11. Fabinho didn't start. Milner was starting in the midfield. Keita started, and then Jota was starting in the front line again. So there was a lot of mix-up yesterday um, when it comes to the starting lineup. Now, how much effect did that have? Maybe a little bit. I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to the chemistry. The team did look like they were playing. They have looked like they've been playing together for the first time. But you're right, dude. They just look drained. The entire team just looks drained.
I wasn't surprised with the fact that Keita started. I think Keita starting against like somewhat of a bottom side, those Palaces, you know, um, the West Hams, Villa, those caliber of teams. Like I think Keita can usually get a shout for those. I was also not surprised that he played so poorly because we've seen that before. I don't think Klopp had to shift the midfield to that extent, unless he was trying to give Bacetic a break. Like I think he should have played.
Why do you think he did that?
I'm not sure. Maybe he needed a break.
Or no, I'm saying why do you think he God, he went with like an old school midfield there, it seemed like. Why do you think he benched Fabinho? Fabinho started the last 2 matches. Do you think it was because of the result against Madrid? Like, I feel like, dude, I don't know. I feel like when Fabinho, unless Fabinho got injured and I missed it, I feel like when we have a bad result, Fabinho's been getting benched.
Well, he's been playing like crap. Henderson, that's fine. I would have liked to see Baccetic in there, maybe Elliott as well.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not surprised he started Keita. He could have started any of those 6 guys.
Right.
Fabinho, Keita, Henderson, Baccetic, Milner, Elliott. They all could have started. The Palace fixture almost kind of reminds me of Everton. Obviously not as extreme, but it's a tough game. It's a physical game. That's where you want leaders like Hendo and Milner. I'm okay with that. I didn't even hate the lineup yesterday, but it turned out to be the wrong decision.
I didn't
We
hate the
did
lineup
miss
either.
Darwin, however. Um,
Yeah.
that's what Liz is saying here in the chat.
Yeah. Let's go over to the chat for a little bit here. Um, Liz, Trent's getting a lot of slack, and man, I agree. Something's going on with Trent. But again, I think it just comes down to the energy levels of everybody. Everybody looks just drained. Um, what else we got in here? Gary Richards says Keita and Fabinho are done. There was actually a tweet the other day where Fabinho's wife responded to that claim that Fabinho wants to move away from Anfield after this season. And she was just like, put a GIF up there. It was like, that's insane. So Fabinho's not done. Kate is absolutely done. See you later. Kate is out of here. Ceiling in here
I
says we.
think Fabinho is just being asked to do too much. Like he just needs to clean up the mess, but there's no stability in midfield, so he's all over the place, constantly chasing people on counterattacks, constantly fouling, picking up cards, sloppy, late into challenges because he's just not doing what he's good at, which is just sitting back and cleaning up messes.
That might be the best take you've had in a long time. That was real. I agree with that 100%. Like because of how bad the midfield has been, you're right. He's all over the place. So it makes him look bad when it's not directly his fault.
No, he's just not good at that.
Yeah, he's
But
not.
if we can't control in the middle of the park, then maybe he shouldn't play.
Man,
Because he cannot play that role where he's constantly chasing people down. He doesn't have
he's.
the pace.
I was gonna say he's slow as shit. He
He's like
cannot.
frantic back there.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Thiago was fit, he'd play. Because I think he's a little bit better suited for that type of match
So
to
let's move
control
on.
things. Fabinho can't control anything.
Let's move on to talk about these links with a rebuild. Right? We were talking a little bit about it the other day. The types of players Liverpool are looking to bring in the summer, with the likes of Jude Bellingham, the Mateus Nunez's, the Mason Mounts, players of that nature. I know we're linked with Vardiol. I think that's how you say it. I don't even know if the G is silent or not, from RB Leipzig or Salzburg, whichever one he's from. And the links that I've been seeing are that these are the most consistent names we've been linked with. So a lot of people think there's a lot of legs with this. You know what I mean? Like if we're being linked with these players, then obviously we're probably going to get them. You had made a comment the other day saying that yes, you want Jude Bellingham, but based on the performances we've seen in the midfield, we were just talking about how Fabinho is just being completely taken out of his role because the midfield is that bad. Would you rather have 3 or 4 brand new midfielders as opposed to Jude Bellingham and maybe one other player?
Yes, I want Bellingham. We all do. I'm getting that echo, by the way. But for the price tag of 120, 130 million, I don't. They're prepared to spend. How much we don't know. We know they've been frugal, but obviously they're going to have to spend. We just need to figure out how much. If they're going to spend 300 million, then get Bellingham and a handful of other players, and sell some players too.
They don't
Get rid
sell,
of
dude.
some people.
That's the thing. I mean, Ox and Kate are about to leave on a free. Are you still getting the echo?
Testing, testing. No.
All right, good. Um, they're about to leave on a free, right? We don't sell players really. I mean, we sold. I think we sold Origi. We sold Minamino. Um, We let Wijnaldum walk. We let Chan walk. We're about to let Ox and Keita walk.
We only sell young guys
Yeah.
and Coutinho.
I don't know why they don't want
We
to
only
sell
sell guys that
Oyvind.
aren't going to make it. That's why
I
the squad
really,
gets stale.
yeah.
Not enough incoming and no outgoing from the first team. No sale, no selling first team players. Just let them leave at the end of their contract.
All right. What do you think about this here? I mean, this includes Bellingham here. You got Vardiol, Bellingham, Nunes, Mount, Casado, Tielemans. Why are we still linked with Tielemans?
I don't know if that's a current link, but
I don't want Tielemans anymore. That ship has sailed.
if you just remove Bellingham,
No, Oyvind, we sold Mane. Go ahead.
oh, that's right, Mane. I don't really count that one. So remove Bellingham from this equation. You got like 80, 200 million, 250. Add Bellingham, it's 380, 400, roughly. Like, do you see them spending 400 million?
I can't see. And dude, I'm glad you brought that up because Klopp, I don't know when this press conference was. I think it was recently when he was asked if we're going to about this, right? The complete summer rebuild. Um, he had said that's just not how we do things. When we buy players, they have to be the right players. It has to be in the right moment. It has to be the right time. And then we buy players. You guys see it. You've seen it since I've been at the club. That's just what it is. And that worries me because I've been reading for about a month now that a complete summer rebuild or at least a big summer spending spree is in the works. If we go into this summer and don't buy at least 3 players, like, all right, because you look at our most spending summer was like Thiago, Jota, and Samikas, right? Under Klopp. I feel like that's the most we've spent in a summer. We got 3 players in.
Say that again. Thiago.
So we got Thiago, Jota, and Samikas in the same summer.
Isn't that like the price of just Nunez? Those three?
We got Thiago was what, 27? Jota was a little over
It's like
40,
30, 30, and like
and then
12.
Samikas.
Like 70 something.
So what, 80, 85 total? Something
Maybe,
like
yeah.
that. All right, whatever. 85 million. Okay, for those 3 players. It's actually kind of crazy. So you got 85 for those guys. 85, that's not going to cover anybody. That might cover Nunes. That might cover Mason Mount. I don't know.
No, they're going to spend more.
No, that's what I'm saying. They have to. You have to spend 200 million this summer. You have to. There's no other chance. You can't get around it. You can't use the excuse anymore that we do it a different way. You got to spend money.
But they could. This is what I'm saying. Like, if they just sold players, they could offset some of that. If the problem is net spend, then sell people. Sell Gomez. Sell Fabinho. Whoever. Loan out Carvalho. I don't know. Get creative. Guys that aren't cutting it. If you're gonna do a total rebuild, they're not gonna play anyways.
So
I think, as much as I love him, I think Milner's wages have to come off the book.
they got to get Milner off the book. And Chris, this is that balance beam that we're walking on here. We can't sell our depth because remember there was a while there where we have no depth. So injuries, we were playing like garbage, right? Now we have depth, but it doesn't seem like we're playing well at all. I think we obviously need to buy one central defender. I really do think that. Whether or not Matip decides to leave or we sell Matip, I mean, I want to keep Matip, but there's got to be another option aside from Matip and Gomez. I mean, Kanate is obviously my first choice at the back. I don't know. It just gets tough. It gets tough, and
You
then
need a third guy of that caliber.
you do.
Matip was great last season. He's been solid at points throughout this season, but he's not the same player. I want to keep him. I'd rather see Gomez go because he's got more value. He's got the English tax. He's younger. Someone will purchase him. I don't know what he's worth. Maybe 20.
He's got to be
Chris
good.
says sell our depth. Like, yeah, Gomez is part of the depth, but if you can bring somebody in that's more consistent, less injury prone. Now, granted, Gomez has been fit. Good for him. That's helped his value, I think, a little bit. The performances haven't really helped. But there's been times this season, earlier this season, cup games, where he's played great. He's got some value. See you later.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, Gomez. I don't think. Well, first off, we just extended his contract. They wanted to keep him. Okay. He offers us at least some cover for Trent at the right back spot because Calvin Ramsey is out for a long time. So we got to take that into consideration. You need Gomez around in case Trent goes down. Why do we buy these players that we don't play? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And this is what the
Who?
price is unmatchable. Calvin Ramsey and
Carvalho.
Carvalho, great prices. Okay, but they're
Yeah,
not playing.
no, I mean, Ramsey's been hurt, dude. And he came back fit. Like, I don't know. He's out for the year
What the
with a
hell
back. Well,
is
I think
this
with a
kid
back
doing?
problem, something that's like kind of sketchy, where it can get worse if he doesn't like rest or something. Whatever. I'm not worried about that. Carvalho, Ramsey, they're peanuts. They're cheap. I think Carvalho was a good purchase. I am surprised he hasn't played. Like in the beginning of the year, he was like an automatic sub.
Yeah.
But um, the other thing I think we could do, which goes against what we normally do, is maybe bring in some loans, like some cheap loans. What was Arthur? 4.5 million loan.
I think it was around
Now
that
he's
5
an
million.
outlier with his injuries, but like not everyone's going to be hurt for an entire year. Maybe you bring in a couple loan players too, if you're worried about depth, like Chris mentioned. I don't know.
Here's the thing. So Ox and Keita are going to walk. So there's two spots in the midfield. So without question, and think about this, maybe even Milner walks. Not walks, but goes into coaching. If we extend Milner again, James freaking Milner, Liz. Wow. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'd be mad. It'd just be like, what? How long are you gonna play? How long are you
I
gonna play,
like
bud?
him, but he makes a fair chunk of money.
Well, he took a pay cut, but you're right. He does. He
What does
does
he make
make.
now?
He makes six figures a week still. So
Exactly. You can give that to a young guy who's hungry, better legs.
I don't know if better legs. I don't know. If there's many out there that are better than James Milner's legs.
Um, maybe more durability is what I'm thinking.
I know what you're saying.
His
Um,
stamina is unmatched for sure, but he
oh,
definitely
100%.
picks up hamstring injuries 3, 4 times a year.
So going back to this, we have to at least get two players in, right? Midfielders, that is. Given
I don't know. Yes, we need that, but I don't know if it's because they're leaving.
I can't see a world, dude, where we only bring in one midfielder and that midfielder being Jude Bellingham. I cannot see it.
It's not going to happen. Carvalho can replace Ox. He's not even playing, so it's like he doesn't exist. And I
Ooh,
know we hate that
ooh,
players come back from injury or whatever. It's like a
ooh.
new signing. I think Carvalho and Ox, it's just like a swap. Let Ox go. Carvalho fills that role of
Dude,
getting playing time, playing up top when needed, here and
see,
there.
Steve, this is why I keep you around. You make these good points. So, Klopp also said in the press conference, he had mentioned that we have to know when certain players are going out in order to make the right decisions for players coming in. Ox and Keita going out. We forget about the players that aren't playing right now. Remember that period in the year where Ox played like 3 games in a row? You're like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
Right? So you're right. Carvalho could very easily replace any role that Ox is playing right now. So there's one. So Carvalho gets his playing time. We forget about the players like Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. I mean, I don't forget about Harvey Elliott, but you forget about Curtis Jones from time to time. He could fill the Keita role, right? In the sense, strictly talking about how often he plays. Now, you still need more quality. I'm not saying these players can fill in and completely solve the midfield issue. You still need younger and higher quality in the midfield. So, therefore, Bellingham, who else are you bringing in? Who do you have to bring in? I know you mentioned Ruben Neves. Why?
Two things. One, Liz says, "What's the drink of the day?" Black coffee, Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you very much. Ruben Neves, I think he's in our price range. What we typically like to spend, 35 to 45. Could be more nowadays. Whatever, give or take 10, 15 million. He's always fit. He's a proven Premier League player. He's got the Portuguese link with Jota. I don't love the player. I don't love Ruben Neves as a player. But he'll put in the hard yards. He'll do the dirty work. He's like just a straight up central midfielder. He can give you some goals from midfield. Good passing. He can hold the ball. I just think that's a signing that Liverpool would make. I think it's realistic. Now, the links haven't been as strong as the ones with Mount, Bellingham, and Matthias Nunez.
Right.
But I think that one makes sense. I thought that would have been who I wanted based on what I know about our budget in January. I thought that made sense. Plug him in. You can just plug him in.
Yeah. Matthias Nunez, we've been linked heavily with. We didn't pull the trigger. He went to Wolves. Now, Wolves are going to cash in a little bit on that. Liz said, Kyle, how about them Celtics? How about them Knicks? We've won 5 in a row. Let's sit it down. All right?
They're coming to town in a couple weeks.
We're
Maybe
playing the
next week.
Celtics on Monday.
Oh, Monday. Well,
Yeah. That should be a good game. Julius Randle dropped 46 last night. No one's talking about him. They only talk about Doncic and all the other guys. They don't talk about Randle. So no one likes to talk about the Knicks. Anyways.
No one cares about Randle.
No one cares about Randle. He's just dropping 46. No one cares. So, oh my God, I can't believe we're in 7th right now. We're in 7th right now. 15 games to play. We got a game in hand.
Pull it up.
I just had it up. Where's this at? Oh my God, I keep forgetting today's Sunday. Where's the table? All right, here we go. Let me pull this up. Tottenham and Chelsea are tied right now, 0-0. RJ Barrett had a quiet 25 points last night, too, and 7 assists. No one's talking about RJ. So it's all Doncic. It's all John Morant. Freaking scrubs. All right. Except Doncic. I like Doncic. All right, here we go. Premier League table. Okay. Tottenham playing. We need Tottenham to. I'd ideally like Chelsea to win or draw against Tottenham. So.
Is that going on right now?
Yep. Playing right now.
Yeah, we want Chelsea to win that.
Yeah, and so you look. All right, so
that
we have
game against Tottenham's going to be huge. That's a 6-pointer.
Oh, dude, it's very
Our
crucial.
next match. When is that?
It's coming up.
April 30th.
April 30th. Yikes.
So we got a while.
Yeah.
But check this out. This is really interesting. Aside from that match, that Tottenham match, April 30th, here are our last 7 fixtures. This is good news. I hope. Leeds, and assuming everybody comes back fit, we can
Knicks
make
are
a
in
run
6th.
here.
Sorry.
Leeds, Forest, West Ham, then the Tottenham match, Brentford, Leicester, Aston Villa, Southampton. That's what we close the season with. I think we'll make 4th place.
That's pretty favorable.
It is. But also coming up is a span in early April where we have City, Chelsea, Arsenal back to back to back, all within a span of 9 days. We play the 1st, the 4th, and the 9th of April against those three clubs.
So the end of the season is pretty favorable. Let's take a look at I want to take a look at Tottenham's schedule because Tottenham are honestly the team that we're going to have to knock out of the top four. So they go Wolves, Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Everton, Brighton, Newcastle. So Brighton and Newcastle are really the only team. Oh, then they got Man United. They got us. Dude, they don't. They have pretty much a very similar schedule.
We have 2 games in hand, right?
Yes, 2 games in hand. So that goes in our favor. Let's see what Newcastle are working with because they'll probably be battling for it too. All right, Man City, Wolves, Man United. Whew, that's tough. West Ham, Tottenham, Leeds, Arsenal, Chelsea. Okay, they don't have an easy road. So Newcastle's remaining schedule, they have 5 matches or so that are going to be tough. Okay, you got Man City, United, West Ham. That should be a good match, but I think Newcastle should win it. Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, and then Leicester. Yeah, they got a tough road.
I think they'll fade. I
I
think we're
think so
just worried
too.
about Tottenham. That's
I
just my
think they'll
gut.
get Europa League. I think Newcastle will get Europa League. I really do, which is a great achievement for them, considering this is like the first year, first official year of the rebuild, the ownership. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Oh, are
um,
they? Is that final today,
yeah,
or is it next week?
no, I'm pretty sure it's today, isn't it? No, it's today.
Carius? Good old
Carius.
Carius?
Oh my
Let's see.
God.
What time is that on today? Usually like early afternoon. Uh,
So we have all right. So we have
11:30 Eastern.
all right. So we have 2 games in hand on Tottenham, 2 games in hand on Man City, and 2 games in hand on Fulham. 1 game in hand.
Fulham's irrelevant. Brighton.
Let's look at Fulham's remaining schedule.
I'm not worried about them at all, dude.
We play them. They play Arsenal, us. Why does everybody play the same freaking teams? It's kind of crazy. It seems like the order is the exact same. It's pretty, dude.
They
It's like this.
they're not a threat. They're not going to finish in the European spots.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
We have 2 games in hand on them.
We still have to play them again too. So
We need Chelsea to win today, big time.
yeah, we do.
And then we
Who's
need Newcastle
Chelsea?
to get neutralized over the course of the next couple months.
Oh my God, Chelsea have a tough schedule. Oh my God, Chelsea have a tough schedule.
Potter will be gone soon. They might give him till the end of the year, depending on how these next few fixtures go. But there Kyle goes. Kyle's out of here. It's just us, folks. So I don't think I have screen sharing ability in here. However, what happened to you?
I just hit the back button on accident.
I was ready to take it and run with it.
You're about to be like, all right, let's do this. But yeah, so I think we'll finish top 4. I really do. We're not that far out. Okay, we're starting to pick up the pace. We've jumped from 10th to 7th in 3 games, right? This team is completely capable of it. So it's likely going to be like what 2 or 3 seasons ago, where we had to battle back and Allison had to save us. I really don't want Allison to have to save us this time. For the love of God, please don't let it come down to the last game. Okay. Let's just get it done early. Let's secure top 4 so we can at least one, you get more money for finishing in a higher place. And 2, solve our problems in the offseason, dude. Get the players you need. Stop messing around. Stop trying to stop trying. You've been frugal for so long. Just buy who you need. Just do it.
100%. It's very simple, I think. I don't even think they have to spend like 400 million. I think you have to sell some folks, get some bigger wages off the books, and then just put some money up front. You'll have to spend a couple hundred million at least. If you want to get Bellingham, you're going to spend 350 million to solve the problems. Bellingham's not going to solve anything. Not
You got to get
alone.
Bellingham.
He's not going to solve anything.
You have to get Bellingham, dude, and I'll tell you why. If you do not get Bellingham, Bellingham will go to a team that is your direct rival, and you'll never catch up. You'll never catch up. You have to secure a player like that. Okay. All the top young talent have gone to other teams. Okay. Chelsea just got Enzo Fernandez. Madrid got Tchouaméni and Camavinga. Okay. Bellingham's linked with Madrid. If they get Bellingham too, oh my God.
Yeah, they'll win the Champions League like every year.
We have to get Bellingham. You have to.
Unless you're going to buy 4 other guys.
Right. But even
You
if you
get Bellingham,
buy,
I think you can get by with 2 other midfielders.
but even if you buy 4 other guys, that's great. You got 4 guys. You're never going to be without, at least a first team midfielder. God forbid. You never know. What did we have? 17 injuries at once or something? I don't know, something crazy like that. That we didn't have 17 injuries at once. That wouldn't make any sense. But you gotta get Bellingham, dude. What other player in the world right now would you say is ahead of Bellingham in the midfield? Would you say there's anybody?
I mean, if you take everything into account, age, talent, availability in the midfield, probably not.
Yeah.
The age is the biggest factor there. He's 19.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's 19. He's
He's got to be the biggest tick. He's got to be the most valuable midfielder in the world right now.
Falafel,
I don't mean
appreciate your
like
comment.
with a
Falafel here. We were saying the same thing about Mo Salah. And by we, I mean myself, Steve, everybody. We didn't want to blow the wage budget or the wage structure on Salah. We did it. Could that have contributed to this form? Probably not. The team probably is indifferent about it. The team probably agreed that Mo Salah deserved it. If the team can do that, blow the budget on Salah, virtually double his salary, they can 100% get Jude Bellingham. There's no question in my mind that they have the money to pay. Okay? It just comes down to what kind of business FSG want to run. Do you want to run a business where like you're always having high wage bills, you're in debt to sign players, which they don't want to do? Chelsea clearly don't give a shit. Okay? And look how far that's gotten them. So it's just a matter of what they're willing to risk to get the reward of Jude Bellingham.
It's because Chelsea don't have a manager.
What's that?
They don't have a manager.
No.
Graham Potter's not the guy. If Chelsea brought back Tuchel tomorrow, they'd be nasty. I truly believe with those players, he could work wonders. I think he's a very, very good manager. And Liz had asked earlier, if Potter goes, who would they bring in? It's kind of weird, but like I would bring Tuchel back.
Bro, they'd probably go for Nagelsmann.
Bayern?
Yeah. He is probably the next best manager in the world right now. That guy is good.
But why would he leave, dude?
I don't know.
It's way less job security. It's a tougher league.
Well, you asked
battling with all the best managers.
Why would Graham Potter leave? Why would any manager go to Chelsea knowing they don't last more than 2 years? And every manager does it.
I said this. Um, I also saw something random recently that Mourinho could come back, but whatever. I saw when
Three
Graham Potter
times at the
left.
same club. Chelsea have a problem.
When Graham Potter left Brighton, I said it was a mistake. We know why he did it. The chance to elevate himself to the next level, and probably an insane pay raise. Who knows what he was making at Brighton, but he's got to be making at least double that at Chelsea.
Sure.
Now that he's managed Chelsea, like he can go get a job probably pretty much anywhere, aside from maybe like the top 10 clubs in the world. And Graham Potter's got a name now. However, if you're going to make a name for yourself, Chelsea's just not the place you want to go. That's why I don't think Nagelsmann makes sense, because he's already doing well where he's at. It's an easier league. They're pretty much guaranteed, I think, to win it every year. They can make a run in the Champions League. Why would you come into Chelsea if you're him? But I think Tuchel doesn't have a job right now, right?
I don't think so.
You got to bring him back. I think they let him go too early. I'm not surprised that they let him go because it's Chelsea, but they were in 2 cup finals against us last year. They won the Champions League 2 or 3 years ago, and now he's got all these players.
Why am I so pissed off right now about how Chelsea are doing business? Why am I so pissed off? This is a Liverpool show, and I am sitting here fuming over what Chelsea are doing. I hate it. I hate everything about the way Chelsea is run. Everything. I hate it more than how Man City are run. Okay, because Man City at least have some continuity. Okay, regardless of how much they spend or how fraudulent they are. Chelsea are just everything that's wrong. Everything that's wrong with football right now. I can't stand Chelsea, dude. I absolutely hate them. So there's that. Let's get back to Liverpool real quick, Steve.
Chelsea is like, they need goals, and they just keep playing Havertz at center forward. They went and bought Aubameyang. He hasn't even made the squad. He went 3 games without even making the bench.
Steven, they bought Timo Werner, Lukaku, Aubameyang, João Felix is on loan. The amount of players they have bought, that's just freaking striker, center forward.
And there's
Okay?
more. I think there's more.
Christian Pulisic hasn't even sniffed the pitch. You got 8,000 left backs. You just bought Koulibaly. You got Badiashile or whatever. I mean, oh my God.
We could do a whole show about Chelsea.
I could do an entire show about Chelsea.
The problem is lack of goals and the manager. I mean, look, it's annoying what they're doing, but like Bowley came in and he's like, all right, let's get Chelsea is a massive club. He's like, all right, let's get back to the top. I'm going to spend a ton. And I think they're doing it within the fair play regulations, believe it or not.
I don't know how.
They're also linked with Neymar now. I think that's a real link.
Yeah, but dude, what? How? How are you linked? They got Raheem Sterling. Now they're going to get Neymar. What is happening to all these players? They have 3 first teams in their first team.
It's unbelievable. Thiago Silva's off injured. Celine says.
I can't.
So they'll help Spurs. No, that's not good.
I can't.
He's rock solid. I don't like him, but he's rock solid.
I'm gonna freaking explode, dude.
Oiven says no way Neymar would go there. I actually wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I don't know if he fancies the Premier League based on the physicality and his injury record and his ankles, but I don't think he'll stay at PSG.
Neymar is a waste. Okay?
No, I don't think Neymar's a waste.
Neymar is without a doubt one of the most talented players in the world and has been for the last decade. But he is a waste of a player because he's always injured, okay? And he hasn't won anything unless you go back to Barcelona. in which he had Luis Suarez and Messi, the best front three arguably ever. Okay, Neymar is not a team player. You are not going to build your team around Neymar. Okay, Neymar is a complementary piece, and he's a prolific attacker. I could go on. I'm so pissed right now. You could. God, why am I so mad?
In all fairness to him, I do like Neymar. I know why people don't like him, especially you. I totally get that. He's played 20 matches this year, 13 goals, 11 assists in Ligue 1. Now, of course, it's a shitty league. There's no doubt about that. But he's been relatively fit. He's played 6 matches in the Champions League.
I think he just recently went off with a really bad ankle injury. Just recently, like last week.
Yeah, it's always an ankle with him.
Yeah.
Lower leg injuries. So, but like, I could see him going to Chelsea.
I could see him going to Chelsea.
Where else is he going to go?
No, none of the big teams are going to take him.
Like, what's left for him?
No,
probably not back to La Liga. Not La Liga. La Liga. He's not going to go to Serie A.
No.
He's not going to go anywhere else in France.
No, it's the Premier League. Bayern. He is going to go to Chelsea. Chelsea or an Arsenal. But Arsenal wouldn't take him because Arsenal are going in a completely different direction. Arsenal are doing it the correct way. They're just rebuilding. It's really good.
He likes to play with stars.
Right. So he'd go to Chelsea. If you want to play with stars, go to Chelsea.
There's almost no stars at Arsenal.
None.
Stars.
That's why
almost zero.
I hate Arsenal, don't get me wrong. But I respect the hell out of what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. As much as it pains me to say that. But if he goes to Chelsea, he's surrounded by stars.
He's probably going to be fourth on the depth chart, though.
What's that?
He's probably going to be fourth on the depth chart for his position. So,
well, they just got Sterling, left wing. They have Mount who can play up there. They have Pulisic. Who else plays left wing for them?
Dude, I don't know.
There's another
so
one that
many
I'm missing.
Freaking players.
There's another left wing that I'm missing from Chelsea.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter, dude. Look, let's wrap this up talking about Liverpool. So really what we looked at, guys, is the fact that we need a rebuild or at least a restructure of the team this summer because this is what worries me, Steve, and you can chime in with your closing thoughts after I get this out. Right now, looking at the team, it without a doubt seems like we need a rebuild. Does it not?
100%. Not a total rebuild.
Right. Now,
you need to trim the fat.
Now, hold on. Say we start just winning games and we go on an unbeaten run for the rest of the season, okay, in the Premier League, and we finish like third or second. Just say that happens, okay? I fear that we are all going to look at the team, or not us. Fans are probably not going to do that. They're not that, stupid to fall into that trap. But I feel like the club is going to look at that result and say, oh, we actually finished second or third. We don't need a complete rebuild. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that recency bias is going to kick in at the end of the season, and you're going to see where we finished in the table, and the club is not going to buy what we need.
I don't think that'll happen because they made that mistake this year. We did so well last year. Probably the best team in the world. Right? Overall, probably. Definitely up there. And they made that mistake. There's no way we can look better than we did last season. So, and all those players are a year older. So I don't think they'll make that mistake. Getting Diaz back, maybe bringing in Arthur. He played yesterday for U21s. Like he's knocking on the door. He's almost back.
U21s?
Yeah, but he's
Let me see him in the first team.
No, but he's playing the sport again. Like, I think we're getting players back that are going to help. Kanate will be back before you know it.
Yeah.
Jota's fit. Bobby's back. I do think we can make a little run in the league and grind out results and finish in the top 4. Fingers crossed. But they're not going to make that same mistake and say, oh, we're fine. They're not going to do that. Because all the players are a year older, and last year we were in a much better position. We didn't do anything, and we looked like crap. I'm not concerned with that. They will do something. Just a matter of, I think it really depends on who they get rid of. I think that's important. Who they sell, not who's leaving on a free, who they sell. They need to sell. You have to break your tradition and you have to sell. If I'm selling a couple players, I'm selling Fabinho. He's still got value. I'm selling Gomez.
You're selling
Loaning out
Fabinho?
Curtis Jones. Selling Fabinho.
I wouldn't sell Fabinho.
I would.
No. I'd sell.
I love Fabinho. I love all the players. We develop a connection with these players. But this year has just changed my outlook on a lot of things, and they can sell him, and I wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
Can't sell Fabinho. You can't. Unless they bring in another Fabinho-like player, you cannot sell Fabinho.
They will, though. They will.
All right, let's end the show with this thought here, bro. Selling Firmino. No. I keep Firmino.
God, no.
I personally, I don't know how common option contracts are in the Premier League. I would love to give him a 1 year guaranteed with like a player option or a team option for a second year.
It's fine. Keep him. He needs to stay. He needs to stay. Even yesterday, he didn't play great, but he's just all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's like we look so flat. Him and Harvey come on, and again, neither of them played great, but they just brought energy. They changed the game a little bit. And nobody does what Firmino does.
Nobody. He's completely different style of player.
He doesn't have to be the first name on the team sheet anymore, or one of the first few names. He doesn't have to be that guy anymore. But you can extend him. He needs to stay. Because you've already seen this season what he can do. He can give you goals. Now, then he got hurt, and he's working his way back, but I think we'll see some more flash out of him.
Absolutely. He was on fire at the beginning of the year. I want to say thank you to everyone who has tuned in and left their thoughts in the chat throughout the show. Thank you very much. Make sure you like the stream if you've enjoyed it. It's going to be a tough summer. It's going to be a tough rest of the season, to be fair. Team has to pull it together and play as a team and really grind this one out because we're 7th. It's unlikely we're going to advance in the Champions League, so our focus has to be Premier League right now. So let's end it with Alexi here. Sell Bobby, sell Ox, sell Keita, sell Gomez. We need to revamp now before Klopp leaves. Klopp alone will attract players to Liverpool if we're not in the Champions League. So,
well, Ox and Keita can't be sold, right?
Yeah, they can't be sold. But sell Bobby and sell Gomez. I think Bobby's contract is up, isn't it? Or does he have one more year?
I think he's got one more year.
I'm not sure on that, but
this is decision time, though.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure.
I'm really not positive. I'm kind of afraid that he's out of contract this summer, but we would have seen more about it. I don't know.
They're talking about it. I agree with this, except I would just swap Bobby for Fabinho. I just think Fabinho's got a lot of miles on his legs in that midfield in the Premier League. And Bajcetic, Bajcetic, we probably aren't paying him a dime. What is he making?
Well, he just signed that new contract. So probably still pennies. Probably still pennies. What is he making? 50K? 40K?
Let's see. 40K per week.
Probably 40 or 50K.
40K.
Yeah.
Fabinho's got to be up in the mid 100 something.
Yeah. He signed, I think Fabinho's probably at 180.
Is he 30?
He's got to be late 20s, 30 years old.
I wouldn't be mad if they kept him, but I think that's a player that still has some value. He's played in a lot of big games. I just don't think he fits the role anymore unless, again, he can clean things up. You just sit him in front of the defense, and then you get better players in the midfield to control the game. Like, I would love to see a Thiago Bellingham in a central role with Fabinho sitting right behind. Be fine with that. But if we're talking about who we can sell to fund this rebuild, you got to get players off the books. That's Ox, Keita. They're both making 100 something. That's probably Milner. I love him, but he makes a good chunk. And then Fabinho makes a chunk. Gomez probably makes a chunk. Like those 5 players go, I think we can see a lot of changes. 4 or 5, whatever it is.
All good thoughts, all things to think about, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And until next week, Reds, take care.